You are now listening to Conscientization 101, an online magazine combining reflection, music, and action through independent media.
It's very important to be with conscious African women and men. And I'm very excited to see Conscientization 101, to see Sister Zari there and the brother James, and to see that you have started an organization to conscientize the world, especially African people, about what's really going on in this world.
Conscientization 101.
A lot of these people right now in this conscious, so-called conscious movement, they're not actually living in that lifestyle.
Fakers.
That's why, obviously yourself, we're on the same sort of frequency. That's why you're listening to the same things I'm listening to, because we're sharing that same sort of thought. We want the same sort of things, and a lot of people don't want the same sort of things. Even yourself, what you're doing now is for the people. So everything is people-based.
Globally conscientizing.
What's making me proud of what this kind of connection here is that, no matter what is said, no matter what is done, you leave listening to our music with a feeling. The same way we're going to leave this conversation with a feeling. And that is the most important thing for I and I, the vibe and the energy and the feeling that you leave with, because you might not remember every lyric, but you're going to remember the feeling. So that's really important, and that's what I'm getting from what you're doing.
Find myself picking up the pieces and picking up the pieces. I'm picking up the pieces and picking up the pieces. I'm picking up the pieces and picking up the pieces. I'm picking up the pieces and picking up the pieces. I'm picking up the pieces and picking up the pieces. I'm picking up the pieces and picking up the pieces. I'm picking up the pieces and picking up the pieces. I'm picking up the pieces and picking up the
My mind's twist, but it's fixed still. I tried to keep it calm, but shit's real. The law drawing arms, hands up high, and still get shot down. No need to act fly, so I'm kicking up dust like I don't give a fuck. Then I pipe it down with a vibrant sound. How you like me now? Turn the mic up loud. I was going in then like I'm going in now. I can rhyme all day till the sun goes down, spitting like K's of 1,000 rounds. If you don't get lost, then you won't get found. Gathering pennies till I made them pounds. Old school Mercury's new and improved, swift and strong, so how can I lose? Got cut, got bruised, and I'm still on my. Got dropped, got screwed, and I'm still on the move. Gotta keep it going, cause I can't stop now, no. Up on the hillside, not on the down slope. The puzzle got scattered on the journey. I saw a birdie, a worm, cause it's early. She crossed the legs like I got the lurgies. Now I'm left here picking up from a distant part of my memory. I blow weed so my lungs stay green and my mind stay free and open. I plant seeds and I watch them breathe till I see big leaves that the breeze stay blowing. Still get sidetracked but I stay knowing.
Yeah, know what I'm talking about. It's that boy Mercury. RU1 fam, baby. Man, that was some tight shit. Man, them boys from RU1 fam be doing it, huh? Know what I'm talking about? Y'all feel that? Man, these boys know how to chop it up, baby. That's my brothers right there, you feel me? Like this. Yeah. ATX, H-Town, Mo City to London City. Love it, man. Man, let me go ahead and get into my editor voice, man. Mercury, RU1 fam, we about to get into this show right now.
All right, welcome to another episode of Conscientization 101 podcast. And as you can probably guess, today we will be featuring excerpts from a dialogue we did with our brother from RU1 fam, Mercury, Djehuti Moon Child. Yes. You know, RU1 fam, man, they're like Voltron, man. They're like 5 lions. And when you get them together, they make Voltron. You got Mercury, Y2C87, Magical, Iraz Danger Dan, and Hunter Pro. You got lions. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. And I definitely want to give a shout out to my boy Mercury. When we did this dialogue, it was like depressingly cold the day we did the interview with our brother. It was cold, so cold. I see why you gotta smoke you a Rizzler. You know what I'm talking about? That shit was cold. That black folks should not be in that type of weather. What he called, Mercury told us, we call it chapping over there. That shit was chapping. Okay, thank you, Mercury. But we want to shout out to all them brothers. You know what I'm saying? And Magical and Hunter Pro, we ain't forgot about y'all. You know how things get busy. We want to have all y'all back on the show. We want to talk to y'all because Magic, you got to work your magic, and Hunter Pro, you got to be the hunter because you're the pro. Don't you know? But anyway, we going to be talking with our brother, Mercury, Djehuti Moon Child today. We playing excerpts. And check it out. One of the hardest things about this show, is the edit for the excerpts because they dropping so many jewels on you. You know what I'm saying? But it's excerpts because see, hey man, look, check it. We produce it, you know, and then you pick it up, you know, and you support us and we keep it going, keep it moving. But yo, man, that's why we gonna talk more about that, about the unabridged interviews, because like I said, these are just excerpts, okay? Gotta get the unabridged interview. But we gonna talk more about that at the end of the show, how you can get those, this unabridged interview. But we gonna get into these excerpts, and we gonna take it away right now, because I got a little mashup, little DJing thing I did with some of the work of my brother, Mercury from RU1 fam. So we gonna get into this DJing thing that I produced, and then we're going to go straight into the interview. So let's do that right about now.
Mercury, talk to them. I'm a student and a lover of hip-hop. Boom baps, lyrics that rip rock and teach you. Simple, it makes a rhyme slice like a kinsu. So watch your mouth and your chin too, if you don't deliver it right, or if you just deliver the hype. Who do you rap for? I rap for the C's, those that came before. The ones they don't like, the ones that they ignore.
Are your levels high? Yeah, my levels high. If you're high, put your ones up to the sky. What we trying to do? We're trying to make the devil die. What we trying to do? We're trying to make the devil die. Are your levels high? Yeah, my levels high. If you're high, put your ones up to the sky. What we trying to do? We're trying to make the devil die.
I won't let them take me under. RU1, bring the flames and the thunder. Burn down the monster, lighting with a one touch. It's over now, funds up. We move as one blood, make him bathe in lava. Somebody told me that the devil wears Prada. He's scared cause he knows he's gonna die harder. He's sweating and I hear no more laughter. He's naive and he thinks he's smarter. Hold your peace, especially in the dark spots. No police, the time now is 3:15 in the AM. He loves this hour, so that's when I slay him. Defeat evil, let's unify and grow as a people. If you bring more fire, it be lethal. It stops here, so there won't be a sequel. Am I clear?
Are your levels high? Yeah, my levels high. If you're high, put your ones up to the sky. Put your ones up to the sky. Die. What we trying to do?
the trap got the rats racing. So they backstab and talk bad and love hating. Me, I just mind my business while I'm on the pavement. I'm comfortable, not content, still I feel amazing. Yeah, I got the motivation, but I lack patience. At times I can't hide my feelings, it's that blatant. A close friend said start meditating. She gave me peace of mind, I felt elevated. Sometimes I wanna hit myself for waiting. Lost gazing, procrastinating. I thought so far ahead and went back to basics. I paint paintings, no captions, still captivating. I remember being royal, you remember slave ships. Some people got no drive, so they don't wanna see you make it. Their definition of success is being famous.
We wanted to start off by pretty much getting to know who getting our audience to know who you are and all that good stuff. So, we talked to you in a previous interview we had with you and RU1 fam, and you mentioned that your parents were from Gambia and Grenada. And I know on the track Little Man on the album with you, RU1 fam and Logic, you say, that you moved to Africa in 96 and then you had to move back to Britain in 99. So like moving back and forth, basically we just wanted to know, like, having two parents, one from the diaspora, one from the continent, and then kind of like having to, make those kind of adjustments young like that. Like, how did that influence, like, who you are and growing up, and how that kind of infused into your music and all that?
Well, I say my dad wasn't in most of my life, most of my childhood. I would see him, every other week and whatnot, but mostly, mum was playing that role, and she done well. She done really good at it. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we did first go to, I think it was Sierra Leone, because my mum's Gambian and Sierra Leonean. Her dad's from Sierra Leone, her mum's from Gambia. My dad's fully Grenadian. So, yeah, we must have been about 4 or 5, me and my brother, when we first went to Ceylon. So that we didn't fully remember. I got a few memories, but that's about it. Now, when I was 10 now, when we moved over there, mainly for schooling and just to kind of get our heads right. Like the schooling, education system over there is like much more ahead than, the system over here. So my mum wanted to definitely, get our heads right education-wise. But I mean, moving back, straight into secondary school. I started in the middle of year 9. From here, secondary school's from 7, 8, 9, 10, and from year 7 to 12. So I came back starting in year 9. I mean, I more or less had the same friends in my local area. Some of them had left, some of them were stood about. But anyhow, just the whole getting back or used to the whole workings of London was a bit, I wouldn't say alien or hard, but it took a little adjusting. It took a little. However, music, wow, I couldn't even really put that into words. Funny enough, my the first lyrics I wrote weren't even in English. It was while I was in Gambia, by the way. It was I must have been about 11, 12, and it was in a language over there called Wolof. Wolof is like the main language of all the other tribes in the country and whatnot. So it'd be Wolof in English. Everyone in the country more or less knew how to speak Wolof in English. So funny enough, my first few lyrics were in Wolof. I did come back over here, and you guys know about the grime scene, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
We learned about that.
We slowly learned about it.
Over 5 years ago, we started learning about the grime. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I was always into grime. I was always into hip hop and rap, but I actually started rapping before the grime thing. I more or less got more into the grime thing because like most of my friends were. Not a lot of them were rapping and stuff, and I had no problems doing it by myself, but I wasn't taking it that serious yet. Mind you, I was still young. So we were doing the grime thing, and at that stage, grime was built off a lot of energy, like a lot of energy and just hype. And, you guys should check out some of the old school sets. We call them sets, like, 2 DJs, maybe 1 DJ, 4 to maybe 20 MCs. Mm-hmm. So a lot of hype, testosterone, a lot of mad, crazy lyrics, but it was all fun and whatnot. It went till later when some of us had, lost the love for it. Some guys went into uni, so we kind of did split up and break up. Watusi was a part of the crew too. We were just always local, close from there anyway. So we kept on doing our thing. But naturally, when we broke away from like doing the sets and the ground scene and whatnot, a few friends fell out. Me and Watusi were always like still on it. But funny enough, we started rapping more. You know, because obviously everyone went into it. So me and him were more like the rapper / MCs, if you say. So we started doing that. Linked up with Magical through a friend in college, and then things just built up. But it was still a bit. I still found it. I won't say hard, but like for example, year 9, 10, I was still like what you'd call a freshie. I don't know if you don't know what that is, like a freshie. They'd say like a freshie that just come from Africa, basically. So I didn't get bullied or none of that shit. They did make fun of me and whatnot, this and that, shoes, socks, picky hair, whatever. But other than that, I mean, it weren't much of a difference. And to tell the truth, after like a good year, it felt like I didn't really even go anywhere. I learned, the system, how things work, transport and all that. Transport was one of my biggest problems when I came back. I got lost a few times going to school. So that was a bit crazy still, but yeah.
I was curious how you this is along the same line. How did you come up with the name Mercury and also your AKA Djehuti, the Moon Child? I'm just curious about that.
Yeah. That's funny. Okay, every day going to school, there'd be these free newspapers either at the train station or in any local stand or whatever. I always used to be into like horoscopes and solar biology and star signs and all that. So I would always see Mercury in my start. For whatever reason, I always see it, and I always did like. Funny enough, I always did like that name. I had when we were younger, my mum got me a pair of trainers that actually were called Mercury. I don't know if you lot got those sneaks. So I had them like years ago. There were sneaks called Mercury.
You may know about those.
Yeah.
So that kind of, I guess that kind of always stick in my mind somewhere, somehow. But anyhow, yeah, Mercury kept always popping up on my my horoscope. But funny enough, I was Merc. When I was doing the grime thing, it was in a crew. The crew was called Infamous Links, by the way. So when I was with them, funny enough, I used to go by Merc. And then I kind of extended it to Mercury. And then started finding out more. I went a bit deeper. I met my friend I'm here with now. I met his dad. I think we told you about the band African Revolution.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, my elder now is a Sheba. He's more definitely grassrooted, into the roots, whether it be music, all sorts, African diaspora, all of that. So he then obviously started, I would say, mentoring. Not even like, I'm your mentor, yada, yada, but just naturally, he became like an elder. We've never had that kind of elder around us, Fair enough, we had uncles, yada, but they weren't around, like, that are fully, like, into it, put their heart and soul into, good works, good music, and just bringing up of our people. So started going back, and I mentioned Mercury. He goes to me something about Djehuti, and he goes, yeah, like, look it up. So I looked it up, obviously.
Yep.
I'd done my research. So it was, was Mercury, is that Greek? Is that Greek or that?
That's Roman. It's Roman.
Roman.
That's Roman.
Roman. Yeah. So it was Mercury, Hermes, right? And then Djehuti, like, it changed a few times when they had invaded Egypt and whatnot. So I went back and then done more research and study how Djehuti / Djehuti, because there's a few others, but Djehuti, the main names, was more like to do with scribing, words, music, and started to all come together and make sense. I was kind of like, yeah, maybe I did pick, the right name. But Mercury, aka Djehuti, same thing, but I like to give, I like for people to see Mercury, Djehuti. Maybe, what's that? Maybe do their research on that so they can get a bit standing, like, like how I did. So that's how that came about.
Yeah, I like that.
That was a thoughtful pick.
Yeah.
Am I talking fast? Sometimes I ramble on. Am I talking
No, man, you heard how I talk. I'm lightning, brother. Shit. No, but I like that because, like, it's funny because when I found out, like, your Mercury, your other half of your name was Djehuti. And it's funny, we're going into look at the transition. I'm transitioning into the next question, right? see the transition, see the gains. Okay, but no, the thing about it is, I started reading. I've been reading a lot of Ayikwe Arma, and I had just this book called The Resolutionaries, and I had just learned what the name Djehuti meant. And it's kind of funny how the ancestors work. I'm not gonna get all, I'm just saying how it worked now.
Go for it.
Yeah. And the next thing you know, I'm meeting this brother, and his name, I'm just thinking, yo, Mercury, talk to the, and all that stuff, arguing, bam, baby. He had that light-skinned thing, girl, you know what I'm saying? Off them stories. But next thing you know, he said his name was Djehuti, and I had just finished the Resolutionaries. I had just finished the resolution. I was like, that's describing, and we need to. I was like, golly, man, what? See, I need to take it easy. But anyway, but going into my next question, I want to again, Resolutionaries of Ayikwe Arma. I need to
look that up. I need to look that up. Thanks for that, ref. I need to look that up. Definitely, I'm gonna do some reading up on that.
No problem. I'll send you. We'll get to you after this thing. Don't worry. We'll send you the information. Okay. But no problem. The protagonist is a sister by the name of Nefret, and is talking to a character named Djehuti. Oh, is that a coincidence? I think not. And he dropped some profound knowledge on this sister, Nefret. Get the name, Nefret. Oh, look that up. I'm going to go ahead and read a quote, because this sounds like something certain man would say this on the phone. He said, this is the quote, "You've made things so clear to me. Why don't you speak the same way to others?" He smiled. This is Djehuti. Djehuti smiled. Maybe it's Mercury smiling. Ooh, yes. He smiled. "A life path isn't something to talk to everyone about. It's for friends headed the same way. Companions. I'd only annoy people going in the opposite way, conversing with them." And I read that. That's how I'm like, I told you earlier, you're like, man, I'm, a little old. We a little older to you, like a brother and stuff like that. And it's like, that's why I feel your spirit, you know what I'm saying? In the sense, like, in your track Out There. I'm telling you, that's how I felt when I was in my late 20s, man. I felt out there. You dropped several lines where you basically talk about the same thing Ahmad talk about, and regardless, you basically talk about holding the line regardless of what other people do or find important. For example, I have to read this, listen to audience. He says, this is the rhymes in the track Out There. "I remember being royal. You remember slave ships. You put your trust in certain people and they betray you." It's happened to us. And you also say, "And some people got no drive, so they don't want to see you make it. Their definition of success is being famous." That's from Mercury, Djehuti. The Moon Child said that, similar to what Omar said. So I want to say, would you say that the Out There track was produced, that you wrote and produced and stuff, is based on that same type of sentiments? Because I'm feeling that vibe, like, because I've talked to people like, man, we was doing this, we can have sovereignty, we can do this, and we can get along, we can do this, we look. All I know is niggas ain't shit.
And you learn that quick.
You on that black shit, nigga.
Yeah.
So go ahead, tell us more about that track, brother. I'm sorry.
No worries. I mean, I definitely didn't have that in mind, since I ain't got much knowledge of the reference and the quotes that you just let me know. But it's funny how how these things just link or connect somehow. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether it's me knowing blindly or unintentionally or what, either way, some links and connects. And even when I read that last night, I was like, that's fun. I had to go back to the song that I was fun. I was like, you know what? That's a bit of a mad one. Because even the guy that shot it for me, Chiba Visuals, he was like, you know what? Really like this song, really like the track. It's really like introspective, this, that, and the third. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's still kind of blow my mind. I don't even know how to answer that one there, but it's definitely a link. I mean, it's something out there definitely working. Be it the ancestors or, it's something out there definitely working.
Well, I think it's a lot of it because we learn it. When you start to learn things and then you start to talk to people, that's why I was saying you learn that quick. You learn quick that some people just don't want to know. Kind of like what you were saying. You're wasting your time trying to convince people of certain things when they've committed to certain aspects of life that are not good for us, but that's what they've committed to. You know what I mean? And so we all kind of learn that, So I think that's why it all comes together.
What you were saying, it's like forget kind of convincing or trying to convince people. Pay mine and more or less focus on the ones that are already with you, the ones that already see eye to eye with you, the ones that you're on the same similar path with. We may take different, ways to get there, but the ones you're on the same path with, the one to mainly focus and speak to them, because other people will listen anyway, and whether they want to take that on or not, it's up to them. But put your power, put your focus and energy more into the ones that's more or less on the same life path as you are. So yeah.
Yeah, the thing about it, I really like about that, because when I hear that song, it's kind of like, if I could take that song and like go back, listen to that when I was like a lot younger, it would have been like some like music. Because if I could do music like you brothers can do and stuff like that, that would have been the song I produced, because it's kind of like, I think we get caught up in this I call it, like, I got the term from Paulo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed, massification. And what he meant by that is, I think if I'm recalling it correctly, is that like, we feel like in order to get stuff done, we have to have this so-called abstraction called the masses, right? But it's really not like that. You know what I'm saying? How does a family start? I mean, it's not even necessarily by blood, but blood in the sense that we're on the same life path, like you said, companions trying to do the same thing. Why am I going to waste my time convincing you that we need, let's say, for example, a dam or something like that, when I can just find people who understand that and we go build it together? You know what I'm saying? It's and I don't think you even like you said, it's like I definitely promote reading and reading. People say I don't read, because it's the quickest way to get information and to understand stuff. The quickest way I can learn about the African experience in London is to get a book, because I can't afford to go there and live 30 years. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that doesn't mean because you have not read a book doesn't mean you don't have anything of value. That's when people start to do book worship. And they try to throw their little knowledge around like, well, you don't know this. And all they do is end up quoting shit like they sound like a damn bibliography, when certain men will live that thing and then they can personify it into rhymes. That's the same. That's all writing is too.
It's like why not combine what you know, whether it be through experience or whatever, with whatever's in that book. Do you know what I'm saying? Other than just keep going.
Exactly.
It's like religion. They fair enough. I believe there's a lot of goodness in the Bible, the Torah, the Quran. But if we're just gonna solely just go off that and not like life experiences or whatnot, it's not balanced. It's not really balancing out, is it? Do you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, it's dogma.
It's like you just hit the nail on the head. That's what I'm saying. When we first got that RU1 fam album, we saw the Africanism, because we saw the compilation video Global Faction did when y'all was doing like the ancestor skits and all the different tracks. It's like you just said, you probably ain't even conscious of the fact, because it's kind of like when you hit these weights. Because I had to give him a rotator cuff, bicep, and my tricep reattached. But I go back, hit the weights. I hit 235, 250 like it ain't nothing, because I've been doing it for so long, right? And I say that to say this. Your first words out your mouth was balance. What's balance? My You just know that because you know it. You want to know why you know it? Because you live it in practice. It's theory and practice. You got to have the balance. When these fools come out here and all they know is a book, they can tell me how to pump some weights and stuff, but I'm going to say, boy, get on the bench. Hit them weights, baby. I want to see you sweat. I want to see some tension. But if you
different things work for different people.
Exactly right.
Not everything's gonna work for everyone the same way, So
that is so true. That's the thing. There's not a one size fits all. And I obviously I like working out because I can do a lot of references.
Yes.
But I've been doing this since I was 18. You know what I'm saying? And like you just said, somebody would tell me, "Oh, you need to do this and do this." I do that. I say, "Man, my body, I don't do too good on that." You know what I'm saying? Some people say you need to eat this and do that. I don't do too good on that. We're trying to reach an objective, but everybody gonna get there different. But here's the thing. I remember people used to come to me, "Oh, I want to get in the gym. I want to get in the gym." My whole thing is this. Don't convince people. And if you want people to do something, be that example. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like...
And don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk. That's why I like...
Because people become jerks when they know certain things.
Yep. Just like when people get that body they always wanted. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's someone else now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You think some of them be humble and whatnot, but no, they're like arrogant and
But I have to talk. I really want to say the Out There track. I really feel that because, like you said, you feeling I like it's a real, it's a track you experience. Because the sound, I hear the reverb, and you talking about, I've been betrayed before, and we all been betrayed. I heard people say, I've been betrayed, so I don't want to try no more. No, that's a part of life. You know, it's how you get up, and you got to still keep on doing the thing, because the only people who don't get betrayed or don't do any experiences, any failure, is people who don't try.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Being betrayed should really just teach you, you know, who to trust and what to put your trust in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who to put your trust in and who not to put your trust in. You know, so you just don't get disappointed or betrayed or hurt in any way.
Yeah, they promote that attitude though, because I've heard you hear certain songs. Oh well, they did me wrong, so F the world and all this other craziness.
Exactly. Like the world's to blame.
Right, right. You know,
and it goes back to what we were saying in the question, in the sense that like companions. You know what I'm saying? But you know what it is, Mercury. What it is it's certain men and certain women. Dude, you don't understand. I play
that song a lot.
I be waking up because he got that chopped and screwed shit.
That video you flag up on Instagram. I was in my bridging and I showed him, and we were just cracking up, busting their joke and vibe to it. Love.
Yeah, man. But certain men, you know why they do? Like, what you say, Zara? You was talking about like people be hating and stuff. Oh yeah, because people want really doing stuff not because they want to develop. They want to get the attention of other people. Mm-hmm. So they doing it for rotten reasons in the first place.
They don't have true intentions.
Yeah.
Exactly. As we say, I don't know if they still say they bopping on the third. We used to say that. I don't know.
I don't think they say that no more.
I don't know if they say that no more. We used to say that bop, the third leg. I think everybody knows what that means, universe. That's why we say they bopping on the third, you know.
Certain man get hyper, certain man are road. Certain man won't pet to snap your neck for your phone. Certain man are easy, certain man are hard. Certain man smoke and pump wigs in their yard. Certain man are grimy, certain man are neat. Certain man are quiet but violent, they don't speak. Certain man are strong, certain man are weak. Certain man ain't ready for the fire that I heat, you see. Certain man are wise, certain man are dumb. Certain man are out for broke that come from the slums. Certain man revolutionize, certain man despise. Certain man can't stand to see pain, they cover eyes. Certain man are fast, certain man are slow. Certain man like platinum, certain man like gold. Certain man like hip hop, and some like rock and roll. Certain man ain't ready to know what they need to know. And yo,
listen to learners, maybe they're burners. I'm barely scratching the surface, chains ain't broken, we're still the workers. I say listen to learners, maybe they're burners. I'm barely scratching the surface, chains ain't broken, we're still the workers. Get it?
Yeah, certain man are straight, certain man are bent. Certain man ran from beef, certain man went. Certain man are honest, certain man are sly. Certain man chuck it straight, boom, bye. Certain man are focused, some minds run astray. Just think of me as Evo Smith and walk this way. Certain man are baffled, certain man are clued. Certain man act 24, certain man act 2. Certain man sell the soul for a deal and some loot. Certain man don't really ask questions, they just shoot. Certain man are sober, certain man are high. Certain man get aggy, certain man get blind. Certain man catch the bus, some got the ride. Certain man like the floss, some try and hide. Certain one like the boss, some think they're Mike. And I feel like Derek cause I'm doing fine, so
listen to learners, maybe they're burners. I'm barely scratching the surface, chains ain't broken, we're still the workers. Yeah, I said listen to learners, maybe they're burners. I'm barely scratching the surface, chains ain't broken, we're still the workers. Get it?
moving fast like a fox on speed. It's my time now, I'm leading the league. If you want 1-2, better get 3 or can't afford them flooring. I make a statue move, and my hand's so strong when I slap you move. I take you back to school, like I caught you bunking, know the rules.
Well, since we're talking about Certain Man, and we're talking about Out There in Pieces.
Pieces, woo!
Yeah, we heard that one. That's a good one.
Fact.
Those are going to be on the new album, you said, correct?
Definitely.
Okay. So can you talk about the new album? I mean, one thing we've noticed that a lot of it, I don't know if this was intentional. It seems to have a very be influenced by screw music because a lot of the
Maybe we're
production
just
seems
projecting.
like it.
Maybe
We
we're
could be
projecting.
I love
projecting,
that.
but
Trust
go
me.
ahead.
I mean, yeah, I've always, I mean, I get back to that, but let me continue on about the Scoot stuff. I've always been into, I wouldn't say, do you guys know about the jungle scene over here?
Yeah, I've heard it.
It's like jungle, garage bass, bass. Similar to that though. I mean, on the next tip, Timberland. I was always into Timberland beats, and since we do the grime thing over here, the tempo's so much similar, much similar. Also, the way that I'm heavily fully into music, anyway, as you may know, but the way also that the R&B and kind of hip hop thing kind of merge, and like nowadays R&B more or less sounds like trappy kind of hip hop in a mad way, right? But another guy that kind of influenced me, I would say obviously DJ Screw and your UGKs and whatnot, but I liked how The Dream came out with some of his early production and was really messing with the scratch. You guys know about The Dream? Yeah. He was really like messing with that, screw stuff, really tough and heavy. And he's like from Atlanta and whatnot. So I was kind of always into that kind of sound and tempo. So even from there, I would be picking beats that sounded like that and just right into it, doing my thing on it and whatnot. I got a couple friends, producers. They heavily make that kind of sound, like a mix with that and like the grime dubsteppy sound. So it's mad experimental. Anyhow. So leading up to the pieces now, I also been vibing one night. I was just listening to tunes or whatnot. I was in the YouTube, skipping through a couple of instrumentals. I came across that one. I forgot the name of the producer, but I'll definitely get it up. But I came across that rhythm there, and slow, not much going in there. I prefer my minimal kind of stuff. So definitely that Pieces one was I wouldn't say spare the moment, but the beat got me in a way, and where I was mentally, it definitely brought that out of me at that time. So that definitely, that's on it. There's a few other tracks similar to it. That's on it. I wrote Out There last year. Certain Man is like 7 years old. I wrote that. I just never telling you, like most of the stuff on this project, a good half of the stuff in this project is a good 6-7 years old, but it's just stuff I was working on, stuff that was just sitting there. A few of the bits and bobs weren't finished or whatnot, so they had to get brushed up. And a lot of the songs never made. I put together about four mixtapes, playlists, not out or released, but just lined up or whatnot. And just over time, I either weren't feeling some of the tunes or they weren't ready, or it just weren't the right one for the project. But yeah, it's been a long time coming still. It's just kind of rounding it all up and just getting it out there. So a lot of new stuff on there too. I'm just excited for people to hear it. I just wanna know what the feedback is, because man, it's been a long time coming still.
Yeah, man, I really like the sound is and the vibe. Your flow, man, is like that's certain.
It's a mix, and it's a mixture of stuff too. Like I always liked those. I'd say classic, or for my time anyway, those classic mixtapes, your Big Mics, your DJ Clues, you know what I'm saying?
That's our time. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a mixture. I kind of wanted it to have that kind of sound. Like no host on it. I might have a host on it, but I'm not too sure about that. But just in terms of the tracks, there's the few original tracks and a few tracks from just other random artists. And there's a few songs on there, but also there's a lot of bars on there. A lot of tracks you might just get a long 32, do you know what I'm saying? Or 60 something. So it's a mixture of stuff too. And there's 3 tracks on there too. I'm not going to say it. That's going to be on my EP and the upcoming album. But I'm just patterning it together.
I always had a question, because when I used to listen to DJ Clue and shit, you yelling. DJ Clue used to get on my damn nerves. I used to be a running joke with me and my boys. We used to be like, motherfucking shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I was just curious, because you're into, you know more of the hip hop, and I'm just, listening, and I just want to ask you, why do people usually get hosts to albums? Is it for more promotion, or would people have DJ Clue yelling?
I'd say that too, obviously, especially if the DJ is doing things and he's a big name and it's up there, it definitely gives you a much more of a look in. The people are definitely going to want to check in or look it up. And it just depends on the overall sound you want to go for. Do you know what I'm saying? Some projects kind of need like a host on it because it's just dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it needs a mixture in there, like maybe some skits or something. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and even another good way to do it was like getting another artist to host it. So it don't necessarily have to be a DJ. Do you know what I'm saying? Like another artist can host it or whatnot. So it depends on the overall sound or vision you want to kind of go for. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure. I was thinking of it, but I don't know. I'm not too sure. We'll see how that goes. Because that can, trust me, that can make it sound so much different. Like that little, you know what I'm saying? You can make the whole thing sound so much different in a good or bad way. So
yeah, it's funny you say that. It's because like it's kind of funny because like, I encourage from what you brothers do, because this is conscientization 101, and the impetus behind the whole web magazine is theory and practice. Western society has like made everybody mindless consumers, but we don't look at production.
Right.
When you go back when you think about like, let's take African people, our people, like I always like to do, right? They have put inside of us a consumer spirit. And so much so that like, I remember I was reading Haki Mighty Booty, and he gave the example. When he was a little kid, his mom gave him an already built airplane, and he played with it for about a minute and then threw it away. Kind of like Christmas present. Get your presents, play with 5 minutes, get away. He said when he went to go clean houses, or the rich white folks, with his moms, he saw that the little kid had a plane that he put together and you produce. And so basically that takes dexterity and teach you not to be just a consumer and have ready-made things. So you say, hey, there's a plane. I got to put it together. I got to see how this works and all that, this, that, and the other. And that's why we focus on people. We want to spotlight people who, put stuff together themselves with thought behind it. Because a lot of people, I remember when I used to hear people like judge hip hop, right? They'd be like, oh, that sound don't sound nothing. And I'd be like, well, do you know how to like roll the bass end off and stuff like that? Do you know like when you get a microphone and you hear that nice sound, you got to like roll off the do a high cut filter and all this other stuff? That's production. And you see, in our people, we think that. I talked to somebody in my family the other day and was like, well, I'm not really worried about stuff because white folks will always fix things. They are so smart. And, we just got to figure out what we need to do so that they'll want to give us stuff. This is a college-educated person, got a master's degree. This is the mentality of people who don't produce. And I'm not saying it just affects African people, but I'm saying in terms of my people, that's, one of my general concerns, because we look at like, ooh, the IMF gonna help us this time with this loan. Ooh, this, that, and the other. But that's why I ask certain questions about the host, because I'm just really curious on how things work and the aspects of it, because we're gonna have to learn how to run a nation. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to learn how to run our affairs.
Sorry to cut off, but even to add to the producing, there's producers of producers now. Basically, which I mean is like you get your Quincy Joneses or whatnot. Yeah, he's a producer, he plays instruments, but he produces in terms of he bringing musicians and whatnot. And yeah, you play that, I want this. Dr. J does it too, Kanye West, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, producers. There's also producers of producers. And back to what you're saying about producing stuff too. I keep saying, listen, imagine, what life would be like or how things would be if we all knew, like community-wise and globally, we all knew someone that needed something you wanted, whether it was you wanted your shit fixed, you wanted clothes, you wanted someone to get you on a boat to drive. So like, if we all had, and we once did, that's why they, they snatched us up and got us to build all this shit. But imagine we had just had, tailors, cooks, guys that fly planes, boats, medics, nurses, doctors, do you know what I'm saying? Mathematicians, scientists, all that we need. And everyone's doing these things, musicians, everyone plays their part, everyone's doing these things. Just centralization of, all of that. And I mean, yeah, that could I mean, that would definitely be impactful and to our betterment, definitely.
Do you see what I'm doing over here? You see this big smile on my face? Because he said exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because you're basically talking about nationalism.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about taking these skills. Because right now we do have all these skills, but they're all disparate. Like we're in the diaspora, right? We have to, like you say, unify and build as a people. Unify and grow as a people. My bad. I don't want to misquote you now. But unify and grow as a people. And we have these skills. But we have to have that epistemological curiosity to say, you know what? I like to build this. I like to build certain man-ting. You know,
and we have to want to use it for ourselves.
Not be afraid to reach out to people too for certain things.
Exactly.
That's one of my I wouldn't say problems or big issues, but that's one of my things. It's kind of like reaching out to people. Not that I'm scared to, I feel the way it's just, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes sometimes you may not even be 100% sure in what you really want from that person, but you know that you want to do something and they could help you in a way. So it's definitely reaching out more. That's a very big first step. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, I'm telling you, we kinfolk. Because I have that same. You can ask her. I do it. I stay up all night. I don't want to do. Why don't you just?
Why don't you just ask for directions? I don't want to ask for directions.
I can figure it. It's like you said.
That's one of my. It's like I'm one of those people where I don't ask for help until I desperately need it, and it's not good. Like
it's not exactly
it's not good. You know what I'm saying? Why would you let yourself get to the point where But I guess pride, whatever you want to call it.
It is that because you know what it is, man. Because it's kind of like I can speak from my experience. It's just like you just don't. You feel like when we had our beginning before we start recording. It's kind of like you got your things, everybody going through, and you just don't want to
So you try to do the most for yourself, and you don't want to burden on anyone else, and you don't want to, you don't want anyone else to feel your kind of, even though they're feeling their own pain or struggle, but you don't want to put that on anyone else in a way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because it was funny, something happened to me, and somebody was, why didn't you tell me that this was going down? And it was just like, man, I handle that like, I don't really, I do my thing. I don't be crying. I done been through, I ain't. But like you said, that ain't good. I'm telling you that shit.
No, it's not.
Because you let that shit be. Oh my, yes, man. Yes. Okay. Sorry. This was good. This is good.
Got a little bit deep there, innit?
All right. This is where we got to leave it for now, but not to fret. If you want to finish listening to this interview with our brother Mercury, Djehuti, the Moon Child of RU1 Fam in its entirety, all you have to do is go to our store at shop.conscientization101.com. That is shop.conscientization101.com. There you will have access not only to this particular interview, but to all of C101's unabridged interviews, musical commentaries, and merchandise. The musical commentaries, you'd love them because we be breaking down analysis to beats we produced. And most importantly, if you go to the store and you support us, you will be supporting 100% independent media. Okay, support us. You haven't heard the half of what we talked about with our brother Mercury. So why don't you just go to the store and finish listening to it, okay? God damn. Anyway, this episode has featured sounds from, and I have to say in the order that the songs were played, okay? Mercury, Pieces, and I put in my little chopped and screwed version.
You know what I'm talking about? Know what I'm saying?
All right. NoNameBeats of RU1 Fam. And that's the song you're listening to right now. And the track is called No Fucking Love. Oh, yes, I like that title. And Logic and RU1 Fam's We Are One album. The tracks were From the Corner and Levels High. Kill the Devil. Yes, we will. It's not called Yes, We Will. That's what I say what to do to the devil. All right? Goddamn. All right. And Mercury, Out There, and Certain Man. Those are two separate tracks. Mercury, Out There, and his other track, Certain Man. Okay? We wanted to thank Mercury for taking his time and showing his tenacity, showing up in the cold. Damn, you know Africa's gonna be all right when we got Africans showing up in that cold-ass British weather with that stinky cold shit. Woo! Thank you, Brother Mercury. And for more on Mercury, go to our site, but also we want you to check out his YouTube channel at Mercury TV. Check out his Twitter at This Is Mercury. Check him out on Instagram at Mercury Djehuti Moon Child, and you spell Djehuti D-J-E-H-U-T-I. And also go to his SoundCloud at Mercury86. And as always, we have links of all the music we featured in this episode in the show notes. And we also have Mercury's social media links in the show notes. All right. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter at Conscien1. That's CONSCIEN1. On Facebook at Conscientization101 and Instagram at C101 Editors. Also, go to the site conscientization101.com or c101magazine.com and sign up to our mailing list where you will always be up to date on what we are putting down so you can pick it up. Oh yeah, did I just say that? Yes. All right, we want to thank again Mercury for doing the show with us. We gonna see you in London City, brother, when we get over there. And to the listening audience, thank you for your support. See you next time. We are out.